this. Okay. So let's make sure we're live. And I believe we are, yes. All right, we are live. I am here in studio with Dan again. We only have about 15 minutes. It's a quick intro. We're going to be coming on again later tonight. We have bocce in about 20 minutes. So we're going to be coming on later tonight. So probably around 7:30 or, closer to 8. So what we're going to talk about is the recent Somerset Sentinel article that was posted today. Was about last night's selectmen meeting. They had to authorize I don't know if you call it a buyout, but the payout of the current chief, Todd Costa's contract sick time, which you would be shocked to hear, which this is not normal. The buyout of his sick time for all of the sick days that he didn't use in 33 years. It's unheard of that any employee gets a buyout of all of their sick time. Usually the sick time is use it or lose it. But anyway, he was bought out for $60,478. That's 200 days at $302.39 per day, according to the article. So let's think about that. So people are asking, okay, what is the buyout? Like, what's the rate? Where does the rate come from? The rate doesn't start at 33 years ago, accordingly. The rate is just the current rate, which is a lot of money. It's absurd. And so, yes, it's just one rate. Now, mind you, we're going to kind of quickly go through all of the costs that Chief Costa has cost the town and the former Board of Selectmen. So we're going to recap this and go into more detail in like a couple hours tonight. So stay on the lookout for more detail later tonight. I'll do another live with Dan. But for all intents and purposes right now, I'm going to show you a quick video clip from my campaign that explains some things. So $60,478 for 200 days of sick time. They want to pay it. They have no choice. It's in the contract. Now you're probably asking, where did that come from? Why is it in the contract? Why is something so absurd in the contract? And I'll tell you quickly that before I was elected, the town administrator, Richard Brown, who was also the TA when I was in office, great town administrator, he caught this for any of the employees that had it and fixed it because it's actually absurd. So he fixed it and capped it. So at the time, Todd Costa was a sergeant and he was grandfathered in. All right, fine. However, fast forward, 5 years to the year I resigned. I resigned because I knew this was coming behind closed doors. No one else knew it was coming. Well, except Todd, because the two folks that were elected, Alan Smith and Lauren Lawless, that sat next to me, I said I refused to sit next to them and I resigned immediately. As soon as Alan was elected, I resigned. So then they had a special election, which they didn't have to have, that cost the town $8,000 to fill the seat for 7 months, which is, again, absurd. There was no need. They could have functioned as a board for 7 months alone with the two of them. That's a quorum. But they got their friend, Kathy Souza, elected, and the three of them allowed Todd, since Todd insisted that he refused to come current and, align himself with the rest of the employees to say, okay, my sick time should be capped. Nope, he refused. He wouldn't sign the chief contract. Now, he was appointed chief without anyone else applying because I'm told that he intimidated people and just said, if you get in my way, is going to be a problem. They couldn't go outside because they go within first, but he was the sole applicant. They did not take time to interview anyone. They didn't even have it posted for long, and he was suddenly appointed interim chief after they got rid of Chief McNeil without giving a reason. They also messed up the overlap of Chief McNeil's contract because he had a year left, but they're idiots and they read the contract wrong, and the cover sheet had the date and it was actually a year in advance. So anyway, they had to pay for 2 chief salaries. They hired Todd he went from sergeant to chief, couldn't even make lieutenant, but they gave him the chief role. They skipped over all the ranks at the police department and made him chief with 0 experience. He admittedly said publicly that he's not good at budgeting. Like, it is embarrassing. He got a full-time assistant. I'm pretty sure it was full-time, something that Chief McNeil had been begging the select board to give him for 7 years. And we kept refusing because we were trying to be fiscally responsible and trying to keep the fat cut, so to speak. But nope, the 3 Stooges gave their friend Todd Costa a full-time assistant to help him with budgeting because he wasn't good at it. And they gave him whatever they want. They also gave him a $50,000 pay raise. So they're paying for 2 chiefs. They $50,000 pay raise, $60,478 in sick time eventually. And Alan Smith, my opponent from this year when I ran against him, claims he's fiscally responsible. That is a bunch of bullshit, people. Because that $60,000 pays for the town planner that they also got rid of because of a vendetta. So, do you see what's happening here? Okay. Mr. Costa also campaigned, I have pictures I'll show you later, campaigned for Alan and Lauren and Kathy, holding signs, which is against their policy. I mean, he wasn't in uniform, but no cops campaign. You just don't do that. But he has no moral compass, so he does what he wants. And he gets what he wants. He does. So Richard Brown had capped. So now, okay, moving forward, everyone's capped at the new select board now has capped them at 5,000. They announced that in the article, so it won't go more than 5,000 any longer. I'm just going to show you before we have to leave. We have a few minutes. I'm going to show you a clip from my campaign that I think is important to show because it summarizes what Alan Smith, who just got reelected, I tried to take him out, but I didn't campaign long enough. It's fine. And it works out because now I can speak very loudly as I was before. So here I am. So I'm going to show you this quick, it's like, 4 minutes, maybe a little longer. But I want you to see this clip because not a lot of you have seen it. And it kind of explains what the board of selectmen, after I resigned, took part in. It was just so irresponsible, and it includes the removal of Chief McNeil and putting in their friend Chief Costa. So let's see. I'm going to transition here. And here. All right. So hopefully you can hear this. All right. Here goes. I'm going to press play. Here, I'm going to look at this is the first time I finally learned how to do this. So, there it goes. It worked. All right. So I'm going to press play. So here we go. Come on, come on. As your candidate for Somerset Selectman here in 2024, I think it is important to provide additional information and relevant context while the voters make their decision on April 8th. Here are some issues and clips that I would like to discuss. Here's a clip from April 22nd, 2021 of my current opponent making the decision to hold a special election.
We could have left the seat open, correct?
Yes.
And He's had excellent performance evaluations. He's had several very successful initiatives during his tenure. And as a resident and taxpayer in the town who trusts the safety of myself and my family to our police force and other divisions of the town, the decision of the select board makes no sense to me. It is important that I voice that my sincere hope and expectation is that the Board of Selectmen reconsider its decision to non-renew the Chief of Police's contract. Who else do you want to put up?
Is Holly McNamara?
Yeah. Hi, Miss McNamara.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Pretty good. I would like to echo the reverse sentiment of Chris Murphy. I think our chief has done a tremendous job moving the department forward in ways that it couldn't have been with the previous chief. And he's known throughout the entire county. And I think this is a terrible decision. I think it's a personal vendetta. I know more than the public does, and that's all I'll say. I'm very upset that this meeting was limited to 100 participants. There were 700 people that wanted to participate, and I'm upset that the profile images were turned off when they were actually turned on for supporting the schools when we had that meeting. So I don't know why SHUD was asked to turn off those profile images. I just wanted to make that point. You don't have to respond to it. I just wanted to point it out. And I think there are a lot of violations here, but that's just my opinion, and I will take it elsewhere. And so I just wanted to make that statement, and that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Police Chief McNeil, during his 30-plus years as a police officer, had a spotless record. My opponent's decision to terminate his contract was made during his very first week in office, which was not enough time to evaluate anyone's contract. This decision can only be seen as personal. In this next clip from July 21st, 2021, you will see my opponent make the decision to terminate our town planner's contract.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we not renew the town planner contract.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to recuse myself from the vote. I've not had the opportunity to prepare for it.
I'll second that motion.
Just so I put it into the record. Again, I already talked earlier this evening about the position that I see our town in financially. Using free cash as a way to control our tax rate is not a fiscally responsible way to control the tax rate, and that's the reason
Lies.
my recommendation that we not renew this contract.
Okay, I'd second that motion, and by roll call vote.
Alan Smith, aye.
Cornwallis, aye.
It was publicly known that our town planner was not catering to the special interest group, Save Our Bay Brayton Point. This special interest group popularized the idea of terminating the town planner's contract. The conflict here lies in the fact that my current opponent was the founder and president of the special interest group Save Our Bay Brayton Point.
All right. So that's the end. Here, I'm going to transition back. So I hope this is still working, but that is the quick summary of a handful of many examples that I could give. But after we get back in like an hour, hour and a half, we're going to get back online and go into more of a deep dive. So